you find that it's not that hard, that it's just you doing step by step, little pieces of the time, you will change. You will get into that new job that you want, or new entrepreneur job that you want, into that new relation that you want, into that new healthy body that you want, and all that just by you feel fear if you're stuck. I would like you to consider this, that when we are in that stage of fear, what we're really thinking is all the bad things that could happen. What if I do this, I lose the money? What if my partner leaves and I'm gonna be alone for the rest of my life? From my personal experience, all the stories in the past that I was thinking that this is gonna go wrong, this is not good. Most of those stories never come true. But the first thing that our brain do is to think in the worst, to think, and we tell ourselves that story. And the more we tell the story, the more real it becomes. Because if we tell that story one time and we know that we see somebody that they start trying to start a business, or they go and they do it and doesn't go right for whatever reason, because it could be just so many things that could maybe the person didn't really like that what was doing and start something else, or whatever reason there, but we didn't know the whole story. And then we took that story, we took that disappointment story, that story that was not positive, and make it ours, and then we keep it, and we tell ourselves every time that we're trying to do something, every time that we know that we want something, we said no, and we really stop the opportunity for what if. What I would like you to consider is that there's ways you can start, if you feel stuck, and if you are considering to make a change in your life, and you see that fear is being a player in that, because always, I believe I really kind of almost 100% sure that almost when you want something, when you really want something, it's gonna be that player. Fear is gonna be in there, kind of making sure that you really want that. But consider this. Okay, if you think that things could go wrong, that you could lose money, that you're gonna be alone for the rest of your life, and you're never gonna find anybody, or no business for you, and you're not good enough, whatever it is, that's a story. Okay, consider this. First, if it's a story, and who did that story? Who is telling that story? You. Okay, you are telling the story. Consider this. If you're telling the story, first thing I would like you to consider is, ask yourself, is this really true? If I am starting this business, if I know I like it, I feel that I can do it, and whatever I don't know, I will figure it out. And if you can consider that you can do it, that you don't have to know all the steps, you don't have to know every single thing that's going to happen in order to start a new thing, to start a new relationship, to start a new business, to start a new process for that health that maybe you wanted. Start to consider that maybe, okay, if you can change the story and say, well, there's people that probably they have money, they are successful now. Probably if you read the stories, you can see that the majority of them, they start from nothing. They start from not knowing. They started, they got help, they figure it out. They study, they Google it, or well, there's ways to do it. But remember, as if you change the story from no, that's not enough to what is possible, that could be possible. That instead to focus or concentrate in losing, you can concentrate on gaining. Okay, what if things could change? Those people that not everybody that they start knowing all of it. They start by just having an idea, having a desire, having just an idea, just something that they saw, something that excites them, and they say, well, what if? And they start doing it a little bit at a time. Okay, consider that. Not just consider the story of losing. Consider the story that could go right. Because something that I notice is that, and I have kind of stories of myself in that, because every time that we're trying to change, okay, is just the fact that it's change. Most of the time I was rejecting. Like for so many times I was just it's something simple, just something I was eating ice cream. Okay, every time was just the same kind of ice cream, butter pecan. I mean, I was just that, and it was every time I go to the store, that was my safe. That was I knew that I didn't try nothing else. I find somebody that really it came to my life and start to share with me that it's more than butter pecan ice cream. But at the beginning, I was not even considering that. Why? Because change is change, and the first thing that we do when we think change is fear. Even in ice cream, probably you can argue that it's not it, but in my particular experience, it was something that, well, what if I don't like it? What if I waste all that money and something all that money? I mean, I got any excuse in order to really keep my butter pecan ice cream. When I start tasting the new ice cream, I really was surprised because it was good. All the new flavors, all the new combinations, it was just, I started saying why I was with butter pecan for so long. But you can apply the same thing in any area, because any time. And in some of the jobs that I was a manager, and I was trying to understand why people, they were not performing the way that they could. I mean that, and I for my experience, I figured that, well, they just are not capable for the job, or they just don't want to do it. But it wasn't that, because I found that most of the people that they start doing it after you work with them, after you train them, they were best in that area, but there was best mechanics or best in some kind of processes, and they didn't even know. But what was different? It was just that they were not considering something new. When you put them in something and they were just doing that, they didn't want to change, just because change scared them. Consider this, because if you do these three things, first you start to ask yourself, okay, is really true that things are gonna go wrong? Is that really true? If it's not, well, consider that something could go right. Okay, and then be aware that every time that something new is coming to your life, something new opportunities, some new business, new relationship, new processes, consider that most of the time we don't want to start, we don't want to proceed, we don't want to go with that, because we want sameness. We don't want nobody to take us from our safety zone. Okay, consider that, and you find that just understand that you don't have to change your whole life at once. Okay, it's not like you gotta make start making yoga, start exercising, start to have 3 jobs or no jobs, or you gotta start to do stuff that you don't like, and then you have to stop doing the things that you like. No. Okay, that's where we become overwhelmed, and that's why usually we think that's our story, because we said, well, I want to keep my stuff. You will keep all the stuff. Okay, but it's just, and when you start to do the changes, usually, and that's the theme for another video, but we can go for long with that, but is you start just making small changes, just small changes, and then as you keep going, you'll find that the new, you'll find that it's not that hard, that it's just you doing step by step, little pieces of the time. You will change, you will get into that new job that you want, or new entrepreneur job that you want, into that new relation that you want, into that new healthy body that you want, and all that just by thinking differently, by making a new story, by making that story a story that is going to help you this time, and you will get what you want.